Hello everyone. This is the last video this week. In this video, I'm going to discuss the profitability index and one last topic, which is the practice of capital budgeting. So the profitability index is another method used to evaluate projects. Okay. So profitability index is also known as benefit cost ratio. This index is defined as the present value of future cash flows divided by initial investment. Okay, so if a project cost is $200, for example, the present value of its future cash flow is $220. So profitability index will be 220 divided by 200, which is 1.1. Okay, so notice that the NPV for this investment is $20. So it is a desirable investment. More generally, if a project has a positive NPV, then the present value of the future cash flows must be bigger than the initial investment. As a result, the profitability index must be bigger than 1 for a positive NPV project, and profitability index must be less than 1 for a negative NPV project. Okay, so from this discussion, you understand that the decision rule of profitability index is if profitability index is greater than 1, we accept it, because if profitability index greater than 1 essentially means a positive NPV project. On the other hand, if profitability index is negative, profitability index is less than 1, we will reject this because a profitability index less than 1 essentially means a negative NPV project. Okay. So profitability index, you understand, obviously, very, very similar to NPV. Okay. So it also can be used for the mutually exclusive projects, for ranking the projects, like the purposes NPV can be used. So look at the advantages and disadvantages. So as I already mentioned, that profitability index is closely related to NPV. Okay. Generally leading to identical decisions, because as I already said, that profitability index greater than 1, except whereas profitability index greater than 1 means a positive NPV project, so they must provide identical decisions. And this is also easy to understand, because greater than 1, less than 1, accept, reject, so easy to understand and easy to communicate. Okay. And also when you have limited investable funds, and you can you have multiple projects with positive NPV, you can calculate a profitability index and can rank them to find out the best available projects. However, sometimes it might lead to an incorrect decision when we have mutually exclusive investment projects. So this is the last topic, the practice of capital budgeting. So just a couple of points here. Given that NPV seems to be telling us directly what we want to know, you might be wondering why there are so many other procedures, right? Like IRR, payback, accounting rate of return, and so on. Why alternative procedures are commonly used? Recall that we are trying to make an investment decision, and that we are frequently operating under considerable uncertainty about the future. Okay, we can only estimate the NPV of an investment in this case. The resulting estimate can be very soft, meaning that the true NPV might be quite different. Okay, because the true NPV is unknown, the astute financial manager seeks clues to assess whether this estimated NPV is reliable. For this reason, firms would typically use multiple criteria for evaluating a proposal. For example, suppose we have an investment with a positive estimated NPV. Based on our experience with other projects, this one appears to have a short payback and a very high AAR. In this case, the different indicators seem to agree that it is all systems go. Put another way, the payback and IRR are consistent with the conclusion that the NPV is positive. On the other hand, suppose we had a positive estimated NPV, a long payback, and a low IRR. This could still be a good investment, but it looks like we need to be much more careful in making the decision since we are getting conflicting results. If the estimated NPV is based on projections in which we have little confidence, then further analysis is probably in order. Okay, so we will consider how to go about this analysis more detail in next week or in next chapter. Another point is, so I discussed this one. Another point is, although we have discussed a range of capital budgeting techniques, NPV and IRR are the most commonly used one, whereas NPV is theoretically the most superior. Okay, payback is unlikely to be used as a standalone capital budgeting technique. Rather, it is used as a secondary investment criteria. That means you use NPV or IRR just to support this decision. Payback is used. Okay, so it's better to use all these investment or capital budgeting techniques to get a more reliable result or to make a more reliable decision, because all provide valuable information. Okay, so this is the end of our lecture videos this week. If you have any problem with any of the topics we discussed, don't hesitate to send me a quick email. Thank you very much.